On the morning of her wedding, as she stepped out to walk down the aisle, she stumbled into the depths of insanity, her mind unraveling before her loved one's eyes. Heartbroken and devastated, her family and Emeka struggled to come to terms with her sudden affliction. Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Enugu, there lived a girl named Adanne. She was the only child of her parents and often longed for siblings to share her joy and sorrows with. Determined not to feel lonely, Adanne made so many friends throughout her childhood and teenage years. She often invites them over to her house and her mom's restaurants where they would eat delicious meals prepared by her loving mother. Adanne cherished her friendships dearly. She showered her friends with gifts, confided in them her deepest secrets, and formed bonds that seemed unbreakable. As she grew older and embarked on her journey through primary school and into secondary school, she had a close knit cycle of three childhood friends whom she considered her sisters and a lot of acquaintances too. Her friends were namely Peace, Choma, and Judith. Adanne's parents were rich as her father, Mr. Ebuka, was a big businessman in the city who sold building and plumbing materials, while her mother, Mrs. Ngozi, was a popular caterer who had the biggest restaurant in the city. She was the richest kid among her friends. Peace and Chioma were from a lower background and so often depended so much on Adanne and Judith, whose parents were lecturers in the universities. The difference in status made Peace and Chioma so close as they often gossiped about Adanne and Judith. They easily get angry at them and often felt some kind of resentment and jealousy towards Adanne specifically, though they hardly show it. The four friends have the same birth month, though Peace was the oldest of them with a year apart, while Choma and Judith were the same age as Adanne, just few days apart. So they often celebrated their birthdays together. Their friendship grew so deep that their parents became friends and often attended each other's family functions or events. Soon it was Adanne's 18th birthday. Same with her friends Choma and Judith, and Peace's 19th birthday. And it was a double celebration as they've all just been admitted to same universities, though different departments. So the celebration was so intense. Adanne's parents threw a big party for her and her friends, with little or no contribution from her friends' parents. Peace and Choma pressured their parents to get them the best dress, but still, it was nothing compared to what Adanne wore. She looked exceptionally beautiful. Choma and Peace, on seeing her, instantly lost their charisma. They whispered gently to themselves, saying things like, "She's always trying to show off. Hmm, she acts like her parents are the richest in the whole world. She wants everyone to know that her parents sponsored our birthday. As they were still whispering to themselves, Adane sighted them and ran to hug them, and they pretentiously acted joyful. Soon, Judith and her parents joined the party, and the party began in grand style. It was a memorable party. While the party was about to come to an end, P's parents went to appreciate Adane's parents for throwing a big party for their daughter too, and for all the things they have been doing for her, like paying her fees when they are broke and so many other things. As P's mom knelt to appreciate Adane's dad and mom, P sighted them from the crowd and angrily left the party. Adane, who was busy attending to her guests, didn't notice when Peace left the party. But Choma saw her and also knew that the reason she left was because of how Peace's parents greeted Adane's parents. Judith, on the other hand, was busy having fun that she didn't notice when Peace left. Soon it was time for closing remark, and Peace was nowhere to be found. The three friends gave their vote of thanks, and the party came to an end. The next day, Adane went to visit Peace and inquire from her why she left the party. On getting to her house, she met her lying on the bed. She asked her if she was sick and why she left before the party ended. She then lied that she had a serious running stomach and needed to rush home to use the toilet. Adane believed her and shoved it aside. Soon the four friends left for university. Adane got admitted to study nursing, while Judy studied medicine and surgery. Chioma studied accounting, and Pius also wanted to study nursing like Adane, but couldn't get admission. She didn't meet the cutoff mark, so she was offered admission to study biology. She was advised by her friends to wait and rewrite JAM the next years so she can become a nurse as she had always wanted. But out of jealousy, she disregarded their advice and went for what they offered her. They all kept in touch, and Adane never hesitated to help out whenever any of their friends were in need. They formed a WhatsApp group where they gist about everything and anything. This continued till the three friends were done with school, while Judith, who was studying medicine, was still in school. The three of them served their fatherland. After their NYSC, they came back home and started job hunting. Adane and Choma got a job almost immediately in the same hospital, while P struggled to get a good offer. This further fueled her jealousy towards her friend, especially Adane. Soon, after 3 years, Judith finished her course as a medical doctor and got a job where Adane and Choma worked, while Peace was working as a PA somewhere else with little pay. Adane took it upon herself to get a job for Peace, and after 3 long years, she finally got a job for her in the lab as a laboratory assistant. So the four friends became close again. One fateful day, after her shift, while Adane was helping her mother at the restaurant, she encountered a mysterious woman who spoke in riddle. Remember the wise words of our ancestors. The forest was shrinking, but the trees kept voting for the axe because its handle was made of wood and they thought it was one of them. Adane glanced at the woman, perplexed and trying to make sense of her. The woman went on. My child, this saying instructs us to be discriminating, though not always. Not everyone that seemed familiar can be considered a friend. Sometimes it's important to look beyond appearance. I see a glory that is bigger than you. You will attract things and people way greater than you. At the right time, you will understand. But keep these proverbs in your heart. The woman warned her about the danger of keeping too many friends, cautioning that her star might attract envy from those around her. And Daniel listened intently, but brushed off the woman's cryptic words, believing her friendship to be pure and genuine. Later that same day, as Adane made her way home, a sleek black car pulled up beside her. A handsome stranger stepped out. They struck up a conversation, and before parting ways, the man collected Adane's contact. Excited, she rushed to her friend's house to share the news, unknowingly setting off a chain that would change her life forever. The man, whose name was Emeka, soon began courting Adane, showering her with lavish gifts and professing his undying love for her. Adane was swept off her feet and introduced Emeka to her friends, encouraging them to exchange numbers. Unbeknownst to Adane, peace and Chioma jealousy increased towards her. Peace became so jealous of Adane's relationship. She wished that Emeka had come for her instead of Adane. And the thought of Adane having a serious relationship before her seemed so unbearable. As she was a year older than Ada and the rest of her friends, she felt that she deserved to be in a relationship or get married before any of them do. Soon, Emeka proposed to Adane, and this further angered Peace as she started plotting means to spoil the relationship. One of the things she did was to tell Adane to accompany her to a friend's place. On getting to the place, she told Adane that she wants to get something. She left Adane in the company of this guy who she has planned with to hug Adane while she take pictures. The guy successfully carried out the plan by making advances on Adane, and as Adane rejected his advance, he opted to hug her and immediately she took the picture, but Adane refrained from the hug and angrily left the scene. She returned from wherever she claimed she went to and saw Adane standing opposite the venue where they had gone to see the said guy. She asked Adane what the problem is, pretending not to know what had happened. Adane explained what the guy tried to do and angrily told her that she wasn't happy that she left her with this said useless guy. Peace formed anger and told her that she shouldn't worry, she would caution this guy, and that whatever friendship she had with this guy, she was going to cut it off. She angrily met the guy, acted as though she was scolding him for what he did to Adane. But they had both planned it earlier, so they just played out the script that they have written. Adane, seeing the way Peace confronted this guy, felt at peace. She went back home, but never bothered to tell Emeka what had happened for she felt it was just a minor incident. Unknowing to her, Peace had already sent these pictures to Emeka anonymously. Emeka, on seeing this, fumed with anger and confronted Adanne, accusing her of cheating on him. Adanne explained that she had not done anything as such. She then explained what happened and how the picture came about. She told him that she never knew that somebody was taking picture of her and that she had nothing to do with this said guy. Emeka, being a loving guy, trusted Adanne so much and accepted her explanation. Adanne started suspecting Peace, but then at a second thought, she ignored it, believing that Peace wouldn't have been the one to do that to her, as she believed that her friends loved her genuinely and cared so much for her, for they were like sisters to her. She continued her wedding preparation. She involved all her friends and family in the preparation, as everyone seemed so excited about the upcoming wedding. Peace, knowing fully well that her plan to stop Adanne's wedding did not pull through, decided to go diabolic. This time around, she involved Chioma, as Chioma had always been an accomplice, a partner in jealousy, but she seemed more jealous of Adanne than Chioma. The both of them went to a native doctor, telling the native doctor to do everything possible to stop this wedding, as they wouldn't want their friend to get married before them. The native doctor told them that there is only one way possible, as he cannot kill an innocent person, and that is to make Adanne sick. He gave them a charm to put in her food, which they successfully did. As their wedding day approached, Adanne fell mysteriously ill. Despite numerous medical treatments and prayers from their families, her condition worsened until she was at the brink of death. Adanne's mother became so scared, fearing that she would lose her only daughter to that mysterious illness. She went into fasting and prayer, crying day and night for God to restore her daughter's health, as it was just 3 weeks to her wedding. She prayed fervently for 3 nights, and Adanne miraculously recovered the next day. Peace, on visiting Adanne and seeing that she was well again, got aggrieved, angered, and bittered. She went back to the native doctor, telling him what had just happened, requesting that something should be done fast to stop Adanne's wedding immediately. The native doctor prepared a charm and gave to her. He told her to use it on any handkerchief or clothes and make sure that the clothes touches Adanne's face, and she would instantly run mad. On the morning of her wedding, as she stepped out to walk down the aisle, she stumbled into the depths of insanity, her mind unraveling before her loved one's eyes. Heartbroken and devastated, her family and Emeka struggled to come to terms with her sudden affliction. Emeka, consumed by guilt and love, prayed fervently for Adanne's recovery, refusing to abandon her in her time of need. In a desperate bid to save his beloved, Emeka found her tightly bound in her room, preventing her from escaping her torment. With tears streaming down his face, he prayed with all his mind, pleading for divine interventions. After hours of tearful supplication, and praying and speaking in tongues, a miracle occurred. Adane's mind cleared and she regained her sanity as the truth unraveled. Peace and Chioma at their destination instantly ran mad as Adane recovered. Two of them confessed to their treachery, admitting to using charms to sabotage Adane's happiness. Peace specifically said a lot of things that she have done against Adane in the past. She stated that she had always hated Adane and that the fact that Adane was more intelligent and had rich parents made her hate Adane for no reason. That things seemed to easily come to Adane without so much stress. With the truth revealed, Adane and Emeka love prevailed together. They confronted the betrayer and forgave them as a plead for mercy, choosing to move forward with their lives. Though scared by the betrayal of her friends, Adane emerged stronger and wiser, surrounded by unwavering love of her true companion. And as she and Emeka exchanged vows once more, they knew that their love had triumphed over adversity, bound together by the threads of faith and unwavering devotion. Judith became Adane's best friend, as she was surprised at what Peace and Chioma had done to Adane. And Adane remembered the words of the old woman